It brings me great pleasure to introduce everybody to two of our rising stars here in Montgomery County, two individuals who have taken 4 years to write a book. And it's not any old book, it is a book that has been published by Random House, which is an esteemed feat of its own, recognizing that a very small number of authors are picked up by such a major publishing house. And so who are those individuals? We have Jason Scurlock, Jason Liaw, right? And Fenley Scurlock. And what they have done is written a book down to business. And through the course of their inquisitive youth, they asked themselves about young people and about the secrets of success and what people have to do to reach the upper echelons of business leadership. And they spoke to 51 or more.
And more.
How many people did you speak to?
Over 60.
Over 60. Over 65 individuals. They only picked the best 51 to be in the book. But those luminaries, those business leaders whom they spoke with, are leading Masterclass, Hallmark, IKEA. I think we've all heard of them. And they gave their time to talk to these two young men about the secrets of success. And it is absolutely awesome. I am so excited for you. I'm excited for your families as well. Hi, Mom. And, you know, I know that the basis of these questions and your inquisitive nature definitely has come from your family, and certainly Kim Abbott and I, who work together at CNN, know something or two about asking questions, and so the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, clearly. But this is just really impressive, and you know, I will stop talking because I want to hear from you all about the insights that you've heard from the book, and then we can celebrate. Okay? Here, come on up here, Finley.
I wanted to start by thanking.
There you go.
Okay, thank
It's a
you.
problem I don't have.
I wanted to start by thanking Councilmember Glass and the Montgomery County Council as a whole for this opportunity. We're so grateful to be here today. I also wanted to read a small passage from Down to Business, introducing the book's premise and mission. We are part of one of the most entrepreneurial generations ever. We are also a generation questioning everything and thinking outside the box to find solutions that will revolutionize the way we live. But while we have big dreams and drive, we still need to learn some core fundamental skills before we start launching real companies. Unfortunately, business and entrepreneurship aren't taught in most middle and high schools. And although camps, mentorship programs, and extracurricular activities are cropping up in many places, they are still out of reach for most kids. To try to fill that critical knowledge gap, we decided to gather some very expert advice. We wanted to know, what does it really mean to be an entrepreneur, and what does it take to get there? What can we learn from those who came before us and from those who are doing it right now? How do we get up to speed fast and meld their experience with our ambitions, ideas, and instinct? That's what we are set on understanding. We wrote Down to Business as the guide map we wish that we had starting out, and we hope that young aspiring entrepreneurs like ourselves will see themselves in the people we interviewed, and through their stories, develop the skills they need to succeed. Whether in business or in life, we believe that an entrepreneurial mindset is a fundamental part of everyone's education, and employers do too, ranking it as the #1 thing they look for in employees. But most of all, we believe that entrepreneurship can be a force for good in the world. And while our generation undoubtedly has huge problems to solve, we believe that entrepreneurship can bring us the solutions. With that in mind, I encourage members of Gen Z and Gen Alpha to start early and never give up on their passion to succeed, within entrepreneurship or otherwise. You can do it.
That's great.
All right, yes, and I'd like to echo Finn's amazing kind of thank you to all the council members, and especially Councilmember Glass, for this amazing opportunity. And I'd also like to pick up on a little portion of a reading. We interviewed leaders from diverse fields and industries, indie beauty experts, ice cream makers, bankers, brand experts, military vets, media moguls. They are both from small startups to big corporations, and they live all over the world, from Silicon Valley to Washington, D.C., Beijing to Boulder, Australia to Ireland. We talked to leaders who went to Ivy Leagues and others who dropped out. We talked to some who were raised in public housing and others that were raised in privilege. Others who were immigrants who chased the American dream, and many who simply dreamed big. We talked to people across 4 generations, including some young entrepreneurs who were younger than us at the time, who are blazing the way for us and eager to share what they've learned. Our generation has big problems to solve, from closing the wage gap and leveling out the cost of college to saving the planet and protecting our data. Not only do we want to start now, we have to. This book is a roadmap to help prepare us, help us develop our entrepreneurial potential, and help us quickly bring the world the next generation of great products, services, and ideas. In doing so, we'll be able to make our mark in a world turned upside down and yet still full of possibility. Now, I'd just like to say very quickly, this proclamation is more than, I think, just a recognition to our work here today, but is kind of a testament to the work that Montgomery County puts in for young dreamers and doers. So as we honor kind of our work, I think it's important to recognize that we also have a huge responsibility in giving back to this community that has given us so much. I think one thing that we really wanted readers to take away is to dream big. So that's why we're dreaming big too, as we're hoping and we're working to get down to business into the hands of every student. And it's not just about learning entrepreneurship, it's about inspiring them and igniting a fire so that they can see beyond some of the conventional paths out there. So once again, thank you so much. And just to close it off, I'd like to say, thank you again. And we really appreciate all your work in recognizing Montgomery County youth.
Well, Jason and Fenley, you are welcome to come back and give inspirational testimonials every Tuesday here. You're absolutely right that this is not only a testament of the work that you two have done, it is a testament of the community we have built, where we welcome people from around the world, we welcome entrepreneurs, we welcome dreamers, we welcome big thinkers. And it's timely that we're having this conversation today because we are in the middle of deliberations for our $7.1 billion budget. And we want to make sure that you all and all of our students continue getting the best education possible so we can continue this success. So with that, let me read the proclamation. Come on up. The Montgomery County Council Proclamation. Whereas children born between 1997 and 2012, collectively known as Gen Z, are facing complex problems as they become young adults, and solving these problems will require entrepreneurial skills, including critical thinking, effective leadership, and creativity. And whereas an entrepreneurial mindset is consistently listed as one of the most important skills employers look for in new hires, but programs that teach entrepreneurship are not always available to many students. And whereas in order to bridge the gap, Fenley, Scurlock, and Jason Liaw spent 4 years writing a book about entrepreneurship for Gen Z, in which they interviewed CEOs across sectors and leaders from around the world, compiling insight and advice for their generation. And whereas their book, titled Down to Business, 51 Industry Leaders Share Practical Advice on How to Become a Young Entrepreneur, has been published by Penguin Random House, a milestone achievement by only 1 or 2% of all authors. And whereas Mr. Scurlock and Mr. Liaw have demonstrated hard work, dedication, tenacity, and other attributes of entrepreneurship through this project, and created opportunities for fellow members of their generation to learn these skills. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland hereby honors Fenley Scurlock and Jason Liaw for their entrepreneurial spirit on the occasion of the official release of Down to Business, 51 Industry Leaders Share Practical Advice on How to Become a Young Entrepreneur, signed on this day, April 9th, by myself and Council President. Congratulations, guys. And colleagues, if you want to come on down because they've brought some gifts for us. We have our reading assignment for the next few days.